Alright guys, so this video is to kind of go over with you what your digital notebook's going to be. So normally in my class I have a printed notebook and you go through and it's guided notes, so you fill in the blanks and add answers to questions. But due to our situation this year, everything's going to be digital. So I've turned it into a digital notebook, which hopefully for you will be a little more user friendly than having to keep up with a packet of paper. So this is what you're going to get. Every student will get their own copy for you to edit and make changes to. So this is what it looks like when you receive it. You should know that it's my digital notebook because down here is my name, Our Health Academy, and my little Bitmoji. And so you're going to add your name and what lab you're part of to this. I won't necessarily ask you to turn this in, but in case you want me to look at something, please make sure your first and last name and your lab is on there so that I know exactly whose notebook I'm looking at to make sure that I can help you the best I can. So if you double click in the text box, you're going to be able to edit your name. So I can put my name and then say I'm in nursing, and I'll put nursing. Okay. So that's how you edit your title page. Then over here to the side, you're going to see there's little tabs that look like dividers in a binder. So you have table of contents, vocabulary, and notes. So if you click on table of contents, it'll take you to the next slide. And this is where you're going to see exactly what you're doing in different modules. So in the table of contents, and I've zoomed it in so you can see it a little better. In the table of contents, you can click on the title, so it'll take you to that section. So if you really want to look at the vocabulary list for the year, you can click that. It'll pop up. And this is all of the vocabulary we're going to go over this school year. Once you start looking at some of those words, you're going to notice that they repeat themselves, because I constantly go back over the same words over and over again as related to government. So yes, it looks like a lot, but there is a lot of overlap. So don't worry about all of that. So this is all your vocab. So if I want to go back to the table of contents, I have everything broken down in modules. And this is the order that we will progress in. So module 1 is civic participation and skills. Module 2 is basic principles of the U.S. government. Module 3 is structure and function of the federal government. Module 4 is Ohio's state and local government. Module 5 is the role of the people. And Module 6 is public, fiscal, and monetary policy. So these are the 6 modules we're going to go through for the school year. And so the goal is to get through Module 6 by the end of the third 9 weeks. So in order to prepare for your end of course test in American government, we actually get almost a whole 9 weeks to actually go back, do review, play some games, go over questions that you've got, do some review pages, and get you ready for the end of course test. So it looks like a lot of information, but we go through it kind of quickly. And some things we spend longer amounts of time on than we do others. So if I want to go see what Module 1 looks like, I can click here. And there's a title slide for Module 1. Module 1, Civic Participation and Skills. There's a little infographic. And then their next page is where we're going to start with civic engagement. And so if you scroll down on this page, you're going to have things that it's going to ask for you to answer. And what's really great about that is there are already pre-created videos with my PowerPoints in your Google Classroom. So there is a civic engagement video that goes along with your civic engagement notes here. And so you can look at the video, and what's great about it is you can pause it in the middle of my lecture. You can rewind it and go back to something you might have missed. So it gives you those kinds of options instead of actually having you in the classroom and going through it all together. So you're going to go through, and then down at the bottom, and a lot of them, I have reflection questions, and I want you to really answer those and think about how you might become engaged in some of this stuff and how government truly affects your daily life. And so this goes on for each section. Some notes are shorter than others, some are longer than others. So when you get to Federalist, Anti-Federalist, they're a little bit longer because there's a lot of information to go over when it deals with them. But you may get something to the Bill of Rights, and I just want you to tell me what the first 10 amendments are and then answer some reflection questions. So it's not huge. Most sections are just a page long, but this is to not only help you understand the material I'm teaching you virtually, but you can also use it as a reference guide when you contact me and ask me questions or need help with something. The other thing this is good for is, again, when we get ready to study for that end of course test at the end of the school year, we're going to reference this heavy, especially when it comes to the amendments and parts of the Constitution. So what happens with this is you get a copy of it for yourself and it automatically gets saved to your Google Drive. If you're not sure what that is, we will go over that before we get started so that everybody understands what your Google Drive is. And so anytime that I have on your schedule for your day that you need to be filling in your lecture notes, I will reference the video in the section of your notes that you should be working on. And if you look at the bottom of your pages here in the right-hand corner, the pages are numbered. So I will reference the module, the title of the notes that you should be working on, and then what page it's on in your notebook. So hopefully you won't get lost. And again, as always, if you have any questions about how to navigate this or videos or anything like that related to the lecture series, you can always reach out to me and I will help you the best I can.